Hey guys, just checking to see who all's here yet. If you're here, make sure you say hello in the comments so I know who's here and who's not. And we'll get started in a few minutes. Hi, Rebecca. Hi there. I don't think I know who you guys are. I don't know your names. I'm sorry. Hello. Glad you're with us though. Hey, Shayna. Oh, hi, Michelle. It gets confusing sometimes. People's names on YouTube are different than what they are in the community. Hi, Gabby. And I'll never remember this next week, just so you know. I'm old and my short term memory is like out the window. So if I don't remember your name next time, please don't hold it against me. But we'll give it a few minutes, see who else shows up. Even if I wasn't old, I've always been terrible with names. So it just, it doesn't get any better. Oh, I'm telling you, it's ridiculous. Names are the worst. It's just Hi, Lori. I was gonna say, oh my gosh, who's Lori now? I don't know, and I didn't see her pop in. I was thinking I was losing my mind. I didn't think anybody said their name was Lori, so and then I looked up and there's Lori. Thought I was completely losing my mind. Yeah, as long as the boat doesn't sink. Although we may be floating away here where I live. It's been raining for days and days and days. Now I live on this, like up a hill, so I'm not worried about floating away where I'm at, but it's uh it's been raining a lot. I just hope it clears up for the weekend. No, you haven't been. I haven't seen much of you lately. That's how it goes. Always busy. We've been really busy here too. Like I said, it's that time of year for my husband at the food trailer. Hi, Lissa. So, once his busy season starts, then it gets crazy. And for some reason, he actually expects me to leave the house and help him on occasion. So, this weekend we have 3 jobs and they're all going to be very busy. So, I'm going to be beat by the end of the weekend, by the end of Monday. I know, right? Actually expecting me to get dressed and leave the house. I don't know what he's thinking. I really don't. Monday's is a really bad one. He booked this job. He got this contract with this huge, it's like 2 towns that are one right after the other, and everybody in both towns have yard sales. It's on one big long road, and then there's this great big park where they set up flea market vendors. And I think there's something like 150, 200 flea market vendors in this park. And he got the contract a few years ago that we go. And, he sells mini donuts, more or less a dessert food. But they made a deal with him years ago that we would always have a spot there as long as we agreed to be open at 6 a.m. so the vendors who are setting up could get food from us before customers start showing up. So we do breakfast sandwiches and all that kind of stuff on Memorial Day. So we actually leave our house by like 4 a.m. to get there and to get set up and be open by 6 a.m. So it's a long day. It is a super long day. Yeah, leaving the house at 4. It's insane. I mean, I don't mind it. It's only we do this on Memorial Day and Labor Day because they have the same type of setup on both those holidays, and we do both of them. So it's only 2 days a year where I have to leave the house at like 4 a.m. So, and it is fun. My grandson was over last night and he was like, "Oh, wait, Monday's the yard sale, isn't it?" He says he wanted to work with us Saturday and Sunday so he could make enough money to have money to spend on Monday. He's like this major yard sale fiend at 12 and he just lives for yard sale. So he's super excited. He can't wait for Monday. Yeah, it is. But alrighty guys, I guess we will jump in here and get started. We were talking in the community earlier about I believe Dee had asked, hi Jesse. I believe Dee asked about using System.io for blogging. And so we figured, you know what, today was a good day to go over System.io and some of the features that it does have in here. It is very early. It is. My husband loves having the food truck. He really does. He loves it. I mean, I'm not. I'm over the food industry. We both worked as, I worked as a server for years. He worked as a kitchen manager and cook for years. But now that he does this on his own, it's a lot better. But I'm just over people in general now in my later years. But anyway, we are going to look at some of the different features and how you can use System.io not only to build your mailing list, because, we've gone over that a few times, I think, to, grow your mailing list, even though that is one of the main features of this software, this platform, because it makes it so easy and it's so affordable. So I'm just going to run over some of the things you're going to find in here in your account. And then we will look at some of the individual features and, maybe set up a quick blog or a funnel landing page, for like a mailing list and things like that. So I am using um, one of the accounts, one of the sub accounts that I offer through my unlimited plan. I can offer sub accounts to users that have the same limitations I do, which is unlimited of everything. So I'm just going to show you from a sub account standpoint what you'll have in here and things like that. So when you log in, this is your dashboard. You'll have this chart here showing how many new leads you've got in the last 30 days. And that will be, what people have signed up for your mailing list and things like that. Okay. Here is a section here that if you were selling products, that's what would show up there. And then over here on the right, this is your live update. So it'll tell you, this person just signed up to your mailing list from this landing page or that landing page, depending on how many uh, freebie funnels or different landing pages you have. And then you have what's called a student dashboard too, where there are different courses and things like that in here. There's a System.io community that you can join, um, but that's not a big thing. I don't usually use that much at all. Then we have our CRM where we have our contacts. If you click on that, it will list all of your contacts that have signed up to your mailing list through different means. And over here, you have your filters, so you can find different contacts based on, name, location, tags, or things like that. And then you have your tags, and you can use these to segment your subscriber list. So if you have, say you have two different freebie funnels, one of them is giving away a free Tumblr wrap bundle, and the other one is giving away, say, free printable worksheets. You know, you may want to send emails or promotional emails to those individual groups of people, because not, the person who downloaded your PDF printable for teachers may not have any interest at all in Tumblr wraps. The Tumblr wrap person may have absolutely no interest at all in, you know, printables for teachers. So when you send out emails, you don't want to be sending emails to people who have no interest in what you're promoting. So you can use tags. So you can create tags in here. So let's say we'll do this Tumblr wrap freebie. And then we can create another tag called printables or teachers. It doesn't really matter what you name these. They're just based on the interest or the landing page that the person subscribed to your list through. So if somebody signs up for your Tumblr, your free Tumblr wraps, you would add a tag to them when they sign up called Tumblr wrap. That way, when you send an email, you can send emails according to tags. If you only want to send an email to all the people who are tagged with the Tumblr wrap freebie, that's what it'll do. If you want to send an email about a new printable that you just created, well, you might only want to send that to the people who are tagged with printables for teachers. Okay. So that's how tags work. They really, really do come in handy for, segmenting your list into different groups based on interest and things like that. So there's your tags, and then there's pipelines. This is really something that most of us aren't really going to use. These are, okay, here's a pipeline, new leads, and then when you made initial contact. And this is more for people who are selling services and things like that. So I wouldn't really worry about the pipelines. That's just a feature we won't use. It's a great feature to have for somebody who needs it, but it's not something any of us will probably use. And then you have a calendar as well, where you can um, create calendar events where uh, people can book time, calls or whatever if you do coaching, things like that. Again, this probably isn't something we would use, but it is a feature that you never know, down the road you might have a use for it. Then over here under websites, we have blogs, which a blog is really just a website. You can use it as a blog, you can use it as a website. It doesn't really matter, but they're easy to build. Everything's drag and drop, and we will build one here in just a few minutes. And then we also have our sales funnels, which are our freebie funnels, things like that. And then we also have this digital store feature, which at the moment it is more like I want to say more like a link in bio page. I apologize for that. Sorry. It's more like a link in bio page where you can list just a couple digital products or services that you have. And But, we can set one of them up, but it's not something that any of us would really use at the moment either. And then under, I know, right? Cha-ching. My grandkids yell money whenever that happens. And under emails, we have newsletters. Newsletters are emails that you send out one time. Okay. If you want to send out a one time email, you just come into newsletters, create it, and send it. Campaigns are a series of emails that go out on a scheduled basis. Okay. If you have gotten the System.io account from me where I did the setup for you and everything, if you look under campaigns, you should have a welcome email series in there that I set up to send out over a period of typically 10 to 11 days after somebody joins your mailing list. It's spaced out over, a set amount of time. Um, right? I know. And they always do that. And then lastly, under emails is your statistics. And this is all your email stats. It'll tell you how many emails you've sent, your opened rate, your spam report rate, bounces, all that kind of good stuff that you really need to know about your emails. And then we have automations. These are things we'll use with our mailing lists and things like that. And we'll get into these later, the rules and the workflows. And these are assets here, your physical products, coupons. You can create your own courses in here. If you feel you can teach somebody something, you can create a course in here, which they have really nice course set up. You can have your own community set up in here for free. I know somebody was talking about Facebook, getting a Facebook group going. You can do one here. You can do a community right here in your System.io account and keep everybody in one spot. Way to go, Rebecca. At least open your own emails so your stats look better. And then we have files where you can upload your files right up here, right into System.io, so you have them handy for using them in your websites that you might build your funnels, your email newsletters, and things like that. And then if you would be selling things, you have orders, transactions, subscriptions, things of that nature. All right, so we're going to go back to the main dashboard. The communities and the courses in here are actually really, really nice. The communities still need a little bit of work. I didn't set up like the Profit Society and that in here because at that point in time, when I first started using System.io, the communities were really lacking a lot of features. They were just starting them out. And the biggest thing they didn't have at that point in time was a search function. And I just couldn't see using a community that didn't have a search function. They've since added that feature. So I keep debating whether I should move everything right into System.io. And then I stand here and I look and I think what a hassle it would be to move my school communities. So I think for now, I'm just going to let everything the way it is until they add some more features to the communities where I finally say, I can't, I want to have it all here. So, but if you're just starting a community, Kajabi is terrible. School is good. It's just limited and it's crazy expensive. I mean, it is $99 a month for each community you have there. So it can get pricey if you have several communities for different things. And that's the nice part of System.io is that because if you've gotten a sub account from me, You have unlimited communities that you can build and it not cost you, any extra. But to start, we're going to go in here to the blogs and we are going to create one. And it is pricey. It is $99. So basically, I pay $198 a month for the two communities on school, which is really, I think, crazy. It's just crazy. There are other platforms I could move it to as well that would be more affordable. But again, it's just such a hassle to move everybody, especially for the paid community. The free community is not quite so bad, but the paid community, it's, transferring everyone's subscriptions and things like that into a new system. I just don't know if I want to deal with that headache. Yeah, it is that bad. I mean, yeah, I just do not like Kajabi at all. And if he's thinking what to offer courses and things like that, Lori, because if that's the case, he could do all of that through System.io. Yeah, if we'll set up a course today too, so you can see just how easy it is. I mean, it'll be a fake course, but we'll set a course up. But first, let's do a blog here or website. Just click create. You pick the domain that you want to put it under. I'm using my rondaj.co. And we're just going to call this Rhonda J's blog. Okay. And we will leave the URL path blank. So that way, when somebody just goes to rondaj.co, it will automatically take them to the website. Now they have a bunch of templates here that you can choose from. It's up to you what you want to do. You can preview them and see which one, looks nicest to you. And you can edit all of these. It's no big deal. Let's look at this one. Okay. And you just, grab one that you like. It's, there's quite a few that are pre-made and ready to go. And I think we'll just use this one. And I'm just going to hit select template and save. And there it is. It is actually done. Let me go over here. And now this is the home page. It's all preloaded with all that information. Now we're going to go in and we can edit this. So right here, if we click on the name of the website, it brings us in here and we have our posts, our pages, and our categories. Now, if you don't want to use it as a blog, you don't have to. You just ignore, the categories and you can delete all these posts. It doesn't matter. But you can edit it up here where it says blog layout. If we click on that, it will open an editor in here for us. And in here, we can get rid of things. We can change anything we want to in here. I'm just going to show you, I'm going to delete everything that's in here, everything, and start from scratch with something really basic. And you just hit these little trash cans to get rid of what you want. And now everything is gone. So let's say, and everything over here on the left is your features that you can put in here. So I'm going to drag what's called a section over. And this section, let's make the background, there, we'll make it like a light gray. And then we're going to have another section here. Drag that in, and we're going to leave that one white. And then we'll drag in another section right below that one. And this one we will make think gray again. Okay. I think it was okay. And now we can just start adding things into these. Like I said, it's all drag and drop, so it's really, really simple. We can scroll down through here, and I think up top here, we'll put a logo and a menu. So I'm just going to drag this to column, and we'll drop that in there. And I'll adjust the size of that a little bit by just dragging it. And now, let's see here, we'll put an image because that's our logo. And then on this side, we'll scroll down and look for a menu. We'll drop that in there, okay? So you see we can, and then you can adjust here if you hover. Let's put that menu down at the bottom. We can align them in different ways. I clicked on this image. Now we can upload. We can upload different files. Um, so let's go in here. Let's just grab an image. Let's grab any old image. Let's just do the Income by Designs. And you just click insert and it puts it in, and then you can adjust over here. You can adjust the size of it. And I think because I made that smaller, I really want this to be in the middle. And oh, okay, I forgot to put the blog content in. So that goes right here in the middle. Because right now what we're editing is the blog layout, the header and the footer, basically. This is what it'll look like on every page, no matter what. So if I save this and I come over here and I reload this now, you can see now we have our logo here, our menu that we put in, and everything you see in here is part of the blog content, our homepage that we can edit then too. This just controls everything at the top of the website and everything at the bottom. Everything in the middle is controlled by their own pages. So everything you put in here is going to be the same on every page. So let's say we're done with that. We leave and we go to our pages. Let's click on home page. And again, in here, now you see we have all this different stuff in here, and you can edit this with your own images, or you can start deleting it and adding whatever it is you do want. So I'm going to delete everything in here. And start fresh, but you can leave the stuff in here that you want, and you can add your own. But let's say I just want to put some informational stuff in here. So again, I'm going to drag 2 columns over, and I'm going to adjust it like that. And then I think I'm going to drag another 2 column over, and this one I'm going to adjust this side so they stagger. And over here, we will put an image, and then we'll put an image here. And then let's throw text on this side and text on this side. So you see how easy it is to just pop things in, and then you just edit them. So in here, now we have this image. Let's grab something here. Here we go, 100 mood board prompts. We can put an image there, come down here, do the same thing, upload another image. 300 digital, easy to create digital products. So if we hit save changes and we reload, now you see this is what it looks like. So you can do everything with drag and drop, right? This is a real basic, I mean, basic showing of what it can do, okay? And That's your home page. So if we leave that, if you do want to use this as a blog, here is your post list page. If we click on that, you see now it will show you like all the different posts that are made in your blog, and you can add different things. So let's say, let's leave here and come over here to posts. And if you click on one of those, this is what your post would look like. You just come in here and you add, your title, your pictures. You just edit everything. Oh, it's crazy, isn't it, Shayna? It is absolutely mind-boggling. Everything is just drag and drop. In fact, I'm going to leave here and we're just going to create a new post. Let's go create the title, test post, description, test post, and you upload your featured image, crop and select, and you choose the category. We'll choose life, hit save. Oh, too short. Test post, test post, test post. Save. And here it is. And now you can go into it and you can edit it. Your title is already there. Your image is already there. And now all you do is drag over a text box and start typing what you want. That is it. You just add whatever you want here. Here, let's go over here to ChatGPT quick. Write me a short blog post about nothing. And I mean, now, obviously, you want your blog post to say something. I'm just doing this for example. You just come back over here, select everything, paste it in, adjust your spacing because you know how it goes when you copy and paste. And once you have it the way you want it, you just save changes. You can, change titles and all that kind of stuff over there. Come out here and it won't even be live. It's just in draft mode. Come over here to your three buttons, click activate, and now there's your post. It's done. It is completely done. And it's even set up with comments, your Facebook comments plugin. So it is just so utterly simple to do this. And like I said, you can, all the plugins that go into WordPress are, unless it's crazy, it really is crazy. This is so simple, and you can do, we can go back in here and you can, you can add links. If you highlight something, you just click on a link here, paste the URL and save it. So you can add links, you can adjust, bold, you can give it your text different colors. So this just makes life super, super simple. And if you don't want this part down here, you can get rid of that. That's, I think, on the blog post page that is just showing you, there's just so many different ways you can do this. Like I said, everything is drag and drop. You can build your own template from the ground up. You can use one that they already have. All right. So that is how you build a blog in System.io just that quickly. All right. So now let's look at the sales funnels. These are your landing pages for your mailing list. If you want to start building a subscriber list that everyone should have, anyone with a business should have a subscriber list so they can um, grow your list, because your email list belongs to you. Your Etsy shop doesn't belong to you. You're basically borrowing it. At any given day, Etsy can shut your shop down and then you are SOL. If you have a mailing list, you have a way to contact those customers and let them know. There's just so many benefits to having a mailing list. So if you don't have one, you need to start building one. I know I preach that day in and day out, but it's the way it is. You need to have a mailing list. And the best way to start growing that is using a freebie funnel of some sort. Let me find one of mine and I'll show you what one of them look like. Here we go. Here is one of my freebie funnels. It is 70 ideogram prompts for positive affirmation images for kids. When people come to this page, they enter their name, they enter their email, they click the button, and on the next page, they will end up here. Thanks so much. They can download their prompts there. And also here, I have a link to the AI Profit Society group, and it still has the old name on here. But if they click that, it will take them right here to our school community. So it's just a way to promote your mailing list or any other offer you might have. If they click this button, it will download the ideogram prompts for them and they get that free. And yeah, it's a little difficult to set up, but you got the account and the setup. And so the hard work is being done for you, Lissa. That's the beauty of it. Yeah. So this is super simple and it's just a great way to grow your list, because people love free things. So they will give you their email in exchange for a freebie that they will find useful. So what we are going to do is really quickly we'll build a funnel. Like I said, if you have the SIO account through me, you already have a funnel. If you want more, you could duplicate that and just change the information inside of it, or you can build new ones. So we're just going to whip up a real simple one here real quick in case you want to build your own. So we're just going to hit create, and I'm just going to name it freebie funnel. Funnel domain is your domain. And we want this to build an audience. Actually, I am going to click custom, build custom funnel from scratch. And no, it's not, Jesse. It's here for good. And currency, you don't have to really do this because what we're offering are free things, but I'm going to just select US dollar. So here's our freebie funnel. If I click on the name of it in here, I'm going to add a step. First is what we call the squeeze page. That's where we present the offer. And it is going to be a squeeze page. And we'll hit save. Now we'll add another step, which would be our thank you. And again, you just scroll down through here, opt in thank you page, and hit that. Now, it will present you with templates, and that's my fault because I goofed up when I added the step. if you look here, funnel step 1 will be a squeeze page, and I want to start from scratch. So I'm going to save, and I'm going to move that up here, and then I'm going to get rid of this one because I don't want to use a template. I want to start from scratch. So funnel step 1, here it is, and we just go in here to edit page. And again, we're going to drag a section over, and I know how I like to set these up. I like a single row across the top for my headline. Then I like a 2-column row where I can put some text and an image here, some text and the submission form here. So then what we'll do is we'll add an image, and we will add some text above the image. Okay, and then on this side, we're going to add another headline and then text underneath it. And then we'll scroll down and find our inputs. We're going to add 1 for name, 1 for email, and then lastly is our button. And there is our squeeze page in general. It's, in general, it's done. But now all we have to do is customize it. Okay. So let's say I'm going to come over here to GPT and tell him what I'm doing. I'm building an example squeeze page. Create a fun sales page for me for a made up freebie offer. All right. Just because I don't want to think, I'm just going to have ChatGPT do this for me. Okay. So free download, glitter explosion bundle. So we'll come over here, and that's what we'll put in our headline. And here we go, 20 sparkle soak designs. And we'll copy this, and we'll put that right in here. And we will choose our font. Let's do Open Sans. We'll make our font size. And again, this is all working on sliders. It's just so easy to do whatever you want. And we'll make it right side. And then we'll add a little space there. And then on this side, we'll come back over here, and we'll have it. It's going to tell us what we're getting. We'll put that right in here. And again, we will choose the fonts we want to use, font size, and you just make this look however you want it. And then select your form fields. Input type will be first name for that one. The second one, the input type would be email. And then the button, submit form. That's what will happen when they click the button. And where will it go? It will take them to the next step in the funnel, and it automatically knows the next step is the thank you page. So it is just this easy. And I'm going to use just one of these images. I'm just going to grab this one and put it in here. And again, you can adjust the size of the images just by sliding over here, and you can save the changes, and you can customize your buttons, different colors. You can get rid of the border. You can give it more of a rounded corners. You have subtext that you can use or not use. It's up to you. You can delete that. You can put icons in front of the text. They have different ones in here you can use. You can put that in there. There's a lot you can do to customize this, and it doesn't take long. So, once you have this looking the way you want it, now, obviously, this I did very basic. I didn't, do anything fancy. I just went through here and made it. These don't look anything like no, it's just you don't need anything else. That's what's great about this. This has it is really running your business in a box. You don't need to go anywhere else. That's what I love about it. But like I said, I just did this real quick in a couple minutes. It may not be the prettiest because I haven't really taken a lot of time to, sit and think about what I wanted to do, but it is done. It is a landing page that you could use right there. There it is. People can enter their information and it would automatically now take them to the thank you page, which again, you can customize however you want it. Let's look at the different templates for the thank you page. Let's use this one. Let's use this one and view the funnel step. Right now, this is what the thank you page looks like. It even has a slot for a video, that you could put here. You can add and we can edit this now. If you want to leave the video, you can do that. You can put thank you and you can put a download button here to download. Need to get rid of the text. And then let's just bring in a button right here. And when the button is clicked, what will it do? And then you just go down here and you select download file and you can upload. I'm just going to pick it would download that image, but you can upload your freebies that are right there. Now with this, we do want to have a little bit of a margin so it's not sitting on top of that video. But again, over here on the left are your options. You can make these margins bigger and smaller, and everything is just right there ready for you. If you had a video that you did want to share with them, you can direct link it. If it's in on YouTube or whatever, you can embed it, or you can directly upload your video files right here. So you don't have to use any third-party video hosting site, which that in itself is amazing because, you're getting all these features for a single price. It's just mind-boggling. So you can do that. You can embed, you can upload, or you can link. It's up to you. You don't have to have a video here. Look, bam, video's gone. You can get rid of all this extra stuff in here and just have a basic thank you page, you know, with your button and telling them, to download it. It's completely up to you what you put on these pages. And then you have your settings over here that control the entire page. You can choose your fonts, your background color, anything. Now, like we made the section background color. If we get rid of that, it will just be the same color as the whole page. And you can change your title in here and your description for search engine optimization, keywords, author. You can put a social media image in here. You can tell whether you want this hidden from the search engines or not. There's just a lot of different things you can do. Excuse me. So that's how quickly you can build a funnel. Now, this is where your tags come in. Say this funnel was for a printable teacher's worksheet. You come in here into your first step. You click on automation rules, add a rule. What triggers the event? When somebody fills in the form and subscribes. That's your trigger. Now you can add an action. What happens? Well, when they subscribe to the form, what we want to have happen is we want to add a tag. And our tag that we want to add is printables for teachers because that's what we're giving away. And we just hit save rule. So now whenever somebody goes to this particular landing page, downloads our freebie, they're automatically going to get tagged with the teacher's printable tag. That way you know, there's no extra work for you. You can also set these up to automatically subscribe them to a campaign, send them a specific email, enroll them in a course, give them access to a community, all different types of things. So there's just so many options with these funnels and your automation rules that really will automate things for you in a mind-boggling way. You can have a deadline on here. If you are offering limited time access to a community, say, you can enable a deadline feature. The deadline expires in 5 days. And once those 5 days are up, it will, redirect them to another place. You can have another page over here that you want to send them to once your offer has expired. Okay. And you can put a time in here. So let's do that. Let's save. Let's say we're going to send them to the thank you page. Okay. So now let's view the funnel. And I thought maybe there was a countdown on here, but apparently not. I think we can put a countdown in it if you wanted to. Okay. That would be a different step that I didn't do. But there is a deadline. Even if it doesn't have a countdown, if somebody finds this after it's expired, that's okay. They won't be given the offer once it has expired. All right. So that's how you build a sales funnel. And like I said, newsletters are one-time sends. So we just come in here, we create it, test newsletter, sender name, the email you want to send it from. They do have visual editors that are more or less drag and drop. I just use the classic editor because I prefer my emails to be mostly text. Yeah, you could do a deadline if you're offering a discount for a limited time. Absolutely. That way, once your time has run out, if you're only offering a discount for the next 3 days, if you send that out to your mailing list, say, and you tell them, go here and you can, download a free this or that within the next 3 days, but they don't read the email right away, and they open the email 5 days later, um, well, too bad. You missed out because now the time has passed and it's not going to let them download because the deadline has expired. It's past the deadline. So those come in handy for things like that. Um, but I use the classic editor here just because I like to use text rather than a lot of distracting elements in my emails. So we created the newsletter. We just click on the title and it brings us into our newsletter editor. Okay. And I'm just going to come in here and just copy whatever Bob gave me before for whatever and copy that in here. And in here, you can write hi. And here where it says substitutions, click on first name and it puts those little squiggly brackets and first name in there. And when you send this, when people open the email, their name is going to be in that place. So it personalizes things a lot. So that's always nice to use. And then, you just peace out and you sign it. And you would come over here and say this is an email about some new Tumblr wrap designs you have. Well, your people who downloaded your printable teacher worksheets may not want the tumblers. So you just come over here and it says include these tags, pick the drop down, select the Tumblr wrap freebie because those are the people want information about tumblers and Tumblr wraps, and you send it just to them. So you would come up here and save and send, save and schedule, or of course save and test where you can send it to yourself to test it. But you can save this and now you can schedule this. When do you want it to go out? Well, I want it to go out tomorrow at a certain time. Apply, save and schedule. And there it is. It is scheduled to go out tomorrow at 9:00 at night. All right. That's how quickly you can set up a newsletter. They're super fast. Campaigns, I think we'll do them another time because I definitely wanted to build a course quick so Lori could see that. So we're going to come over here to our assets. And well, first I think we'll build a community because it's literally 2 seconds. Communities, create, test, community. The domain you want to put it on, you select your custom domain. There's the path, automatic post approval, yes or no. Hit save. Guess what? Your community is live. It is done. It is active. So now what you can do is your topics. You can add topics. These are basically your posting categories, general discussion. Oops. And you just add as many categories as you want. You have some settings in here. You can upload a header image for your community that people would see when they went to your portal. It's whether it's a private or a public, and do posts get approved automatically or do you have to approve them? And you just click save. And then you can go home and there is your community. You can schedule posts to go out at specific times. And all you would do is come in here. What am I doing wrong? I must have broke something. Something is not working here for me today. What am I doing? Let's turn off my ad blocker. Is that it? No, something is not working. I do know they have been. Okay, so here is your community dashboard where you could have a whole bunch of communities in here. And that's where that will be. And you can click open. And why is this not letting me do anything? What did I do wrong? I do not know what I did wrong. But you would be able to post in here. And I do know they've been doing updates. They could very well be doing an update to the communities feature right now. And that's where the problems are. So we'll go back here. And okay, let's just make sure. Let's view. Yeah, I think they're doing some kind of updates because these work fantastic. And then we have our members here. You can see and home. And I can show you, I'll show you another community then when we're done. Let me get rid of this. So all these extra pages right now. But let's go to courses and add a new course. And let's say we want to teach a course on tumblers. Okay, Tumblr. And let's name it Tumblr course. Okay, now you can select the themes. They have all different color themes in here. I'm just going to pick this teal one. And we can go in here. And now you add modules like module 1. And now you can add lessons to the modules. Lesson 1 can enable comments. And they have templates in here. And we just selected that. So now we can go edit that lesson. You can, again, in here, you just do the same thing that you would do for any page. You put your title, you put images, videos, anything like that in here. And when you're done, you hit Save Changes. And then you can make this module active, this lesson active. You can give access to the entire course immediately. You can drip access. So let's say you want to release one lesson per week. You can do that with dripped content, things like that. And let's come in here and activate the entire course. And let's view. So this is what our course looks like. We're at lesson 1. There's our lesson. And you just add more lessons along here. You can mark it as complete when you're done. Your students can leave comments. Great lesson. And they'll be in there for everyone to see. And like I said, these courses are fantastic. I think, let me look up here. Here is the prompt library that I actually used a course setup to create. Okay. You come in here, and first lesson is basically a video showing you how to use the prompt library. The next lesson is the library itself. As soon as it loads in here, there we go. So you can use these courses for a variety of things. And then I had another module that has, different tools that they can use. So you can do courses really easy. Okay. And then here is the support community that I built for people who got the System.io account, the System.io sub account through me. We just created a small support community right here in System.io. So everything is in one place, and you can see in here that you can attach videos, and it's going to show you, this is a direct, nope, this wasn't a direct upload. This is my Vimeo. But you can, upload videos and images and things like that into your communities. And so they are a really nice feature. The only drawback I don't like about the communities right now is that you can't customize the colors like you can the courses. But I have just been talking to support the last few days, and that is a feature that is definitely coming for us. but the ability to schedule posts is a fantastic feature. If you're busy but you want to keep the activity going in your community, you can make posts and schedule them to come out later. And your different topics or categories. So that is what a community looks like. I'm not sure why I can't get my new one to function properly for me today. That's odd. But the courses, you see how easy those are to make, Lori. Um, we'll go back in here and see we can add another module based on, what we are teaching. And we can add a lecture to that one, lesson 1. And you can either enable or disable comments. And again, select your template, save, and you can activate these lessons whenever you want. You can also, like I said, you can make them dripped. So you can delay these by, days or how many days you want to release this lesson after the previous lesson. There's just a lot of different options for this. And then we would activate it. And once that's activated, it would show up here too. You have module 1, lesson 1, module 2, lesson 1, and you just add your course information in here. Um, it works really nicely. I do offer the, let me go back over here a second. Let's go to this prompt library. Let's go to courses and explore. I offer the Canva Frames Masterclass through here. I offer the Smart Object. So, and this is what your school homepage would look like if you did offer courses. They would all be listed here, and people just access them. And so you can see this is the same exact course we have in the AI Profit Society community, but it's in here so I could offer it to people that aren't in the community. So it really, the course feature in System.io is really, really nice. It is actually one of my favorite features that they offer. I love that we can customize them with different colors and things of that nature. So, and then you would have, like I said, you have your communities, you have your courses, and you would have your own portal login for members and users and things like that. So there is just a ton of different options that you can use this for. In fact, if let me find these. If you don't already have your System.io account, you can get it here at this link. I'll show you right here. It is an unlimited account. It's just a sub account through me. So you get it a whole lot cheaper. And I will set everything up for you. I think most everybody here already has it though. Honestly, I think most everyone on the live today has already jumped on this and gotten their System.io account and gotten the setup done for them, because it's just, I mean, if you're not tech savvy, it's just makes sense. But that's what it is. That's how it works. And then once you have your funnel pages set up, like some of you do already, then you start adding them to your message to buyers and things like that. Sounds good, Jesse. It'll still be here. Um, you put it in your message to buyers, your thank you messages in your Etsy shop. You add a link to it in a PDF and you include that in your file downloads. You can put a QR code in your Etsy shop banner for it. There's just a ton of different ways you can promote your landing page and your freebie, and you will see your list start to grow. Okay? So are there any questions about System.io? Is there anything that you wanted to see that I didn't at least skim over? As I'll be happy to show you if there's anything else you want to see. If not, we can shut her down for the day. All right. Everyone's happy with what we saw. How do you make the rows? How do I make them bigger? I don't understand what you mean. How do I make the rows bigger? On the blog, on the funnel. Let's go in here. You're welcome, Jesse. You're welcome, Lissa. On the blog, how do I make them bigger? I don't. I put stuff in them. If you, let's say, okay, let's hear. Here's a row. Let's just drop a row over here. Okay, there's a row. To make this bigger, I mean, you can adjust the margin. So things aren't as close to it. Is that what you mean? Oh, I'm sorry, Lisa. Okay. I will remember that. I will remember how to pronounce your name. I don't remember names, but once you tell me how to pronounce one, then I'll remember that. Or do you mean how to make this taller, Rebecca? Because to make these taller, really all you do is add items to them. I meant the top bottom size for the actual row. Oh, you just add things to it. Bam. And then if you want to add more to it, like, okay, there's our row, okay? And we added the list to it. Now I want to add headline text. Well, I'm just bringing it over and I'm just going to drag it till I know where it's at. So now that's inside of the row. And now let's say I wanted to add a video under this. I'm just going to drag that right underneath the bulleted list. See how it turned like a darker blue right under the bulleted list? I'm just going to drop that in there. Now that's all inside the same row. And you just add things to it to make it expand. Yeah. Okay. That's how you do it. You just add things to it. Now, though, like here, if you think this list is too close to the video, you can come down here to the margin and, adjust the margin so you have better spacing between items. But you would still just drag it right into this row. Like here, we just want it in, we want this under the bullet, but above the video, we just drop it right in there. Just watch as you're dragging things in for that blue highlight, and that will show you where you're going to be putting it. Like that blue highlight there, I'm going to be putting it underneath the bulleted list. If it's going to go, obviously it's still going to go under the bulleted list, just above that. Or if I go here, it's going to put this between the headline and the video. Okay? And that's all you do. You just drag and drop that stuff wherever you want it. And you do what you can. Alrighty. So again, if you do have any other questions, you guys know where to find me in the community. You can ask any questions you want and I will answer them. And if I need to, I will whip up another short video on that one particular thing you have questions about. So I hope you guys have a great afternoon and I'll talk to you later.